Hello, it's Thursday again, and we're back with Taryn Bashford, the author of Payback, in another live video. I've already had one technical glitch. We're halfway through. The whole thing just decided to stop taping, so hopefully that won't happen again. Anyway, today I've got my cowboy hat on, so you might be thinking I'm going to be writing a Western or perhaps a space cowboy novel. They seem pretty big at the moment, but in fact I'm working on a pretty renegade character in today's scene, so I thought my cowboy hat would be the most appropriate. Anyway, today's video is all about Project Awesome. This is a new project that has been born out of the fact that as a YA author I often write about characters who have issues of self-esteem, and in fact if you think about it, most YA novels include characters who have issues of self-esteem. It could be that they're not good enough for their parents, or they're not pretty enough for a boy, or they're not clever enough for a certain college, or they're not fast enough for a certain sport, or whatever it may be. And so I figured this was a pretty appropriate issue to tackle and work on helping people change their mindsets. So Project Awesome is all about how to change your mindset from feeling pretty damn awful to feeling pretty awesome about yourself. And I had some teens write into me, so watch out for the calls, because it's really good to have thoughts and advice and ideas from people who are in the thick of it, in high school, dealing with self-esteem issues all the time. So here's a few comments that came back that you might be interested in. Optimism 8 says, I think the mindset you should aim to have is to just be yourself. Don't worry about what anyone else says. Jake 007 says, fake it. Straighten your back, look up, make eye contact, and stop caring so much about what others think. So kind of similar advice there. He says that if there is something you want to change about yourself, change it. And if it can't be changed, then you need to go with it. So let's say you have a big nose. Well, you can't fix that right now, but it doesn't make you a bad person. And maybe you should just sort of laugh it off a bit and, I don't know, learn how to whistle out your nose, which is a fun perspective and could work. Kissy Me says, don't torture yourself by staring into mirrors and picking apart every flaw. No one is perfect. Real people don't have Photoshop like models do. So true. KK says, don't take yourself too seriously. If someone puts you down or laughs at you, try and laugh it off. They're probably suffering from a self-esteem issue themselves, and that's why they want to put you down, so don't meet them down on their level. And Simone 627 says, don't give people the power to damage your self-esteem. Make the choice not to listen to something that's hurtful. And I thought that was a pretty mature perspective. My favourite one actually came in from Anonymous, and he, or she, I guess, said, if I asked a girl on a date and she said no, and I felt that there was something wrong with me. But then I realised that maybe she was just shy or embarrassed, and maybe she didn't know me well enough. Don't always assume there's something wrong with you. And that is so true. So these are really helpful tips from teens, and it's really nice to hear the perspective of what's going on and what's happening in high school and how people think about self-esteem. But next week we're going to talk about a little bit more about ways to actively improve and help your self-esteem and change your mindset. It's all about feeling pretty awesome about yourself rather than awful, but it's not always as simple as just putting your chin up and putting on a brave face because you're still feeling pretty awful inside. So join us next week and we'll have a little chat about that. See you then. Bye.